Deal TV, learn and earn.
A very good morning to you, my viewers. Thanks for watching Deal TV. Thanks for watching Deal Coffee on Deal TV Learn and Earn. Remember, Deal TV has a new program that is news digest that will be learning regularly and will be updated about the news. But then here we are with Deal Coffee. My name is Mukwaya Mayanja Yusuf, and we have a host. We are hosting someone from Asante Tour Safaris.
Yes, tour safaris
And travel.
Yes.
So this interview is intended to showcase the tourism industry. We've been having the COVID disaster that attacked us, and then it attacked mostly the entertainment industry and then the tourism industry. But now the game is picking up. So we need to identify the operators, the practitioners in this field, so that we can let you know if you want to travel, what do you have to know. And then we as Deal TV, remember, we do more into business. So if you have your capital, if you have your money, and then you need to go into tourism business, what do you have to know? Where can you go for consultation? So, sir, talk to our viewers and tell them who are we talking to.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, Deal TV. My name is Shepuya Martin, and I am the managing director of Asante Tours and Travel. It's nice meeting you today.
Yeah, nice meeting you. So, Mr. Martin,
Yes, sir.
why of all things tourism?
Well, tourism is my passion. That's a very, very nice question because everything usually has a beginning.
Okay.
And it has an inspiration. To me, when I was growing up as a young boy, even in school, when I was still in my high school, I used to tell my friends that if I really don't turn out to be a pilot, I will end up being a safari guide or a tour operator, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I just had to follow my passion and dream, and it came to pass that even in our school, where I was attending high school, I was the best in geography in the whole district
Okay.
because I liked anything to do with nature. So to me, it is a passion and it is a calling.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So take us through the history or background of Asante Tours.
Well, thank you so much. Asante Tours, as the name suggests, is a Swahili African word meaning thank you. Thank you. I had to choose that word because it was a divine inspiration from my wife and from the Lord. Because one day we are thinking of something we can do that can add value to our country, something we can do that can add value to our lives, and something we can do that can also bless others. So we thought of coming up with a tour and travel company, and it wasn't really an easy start because tourism needs a lot of investment.
Yeah.
We started on a humble background with some of our friends giving us one vehicle we started with.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a big horn, and that gentleman is now a late Pastor Stephen Kawesa. We shared with him about what we really wanted to do, the vision. He was so much inspired and said, "My children, I'm going to give you this vehicle. You can just use it and see whether it can help you." So I went and converted that vehicle into a safari truck. We used it, and right now, as I speak, we have a fleet of vehicles we are actually using in our safaris. Yes.
So for how long have you been in operation?
It is now 12 years. Yes, sir.
That's quite a good number.
Yeah, it's now 12 years.
The experience must be great.
Yes,
so
sir.
what has been the experience? How has been the going? Where has been the challenges? Before we go into the specific COVID-19 challenges,
Yes.
what has been the challenges before?
Well, tourism has more benefits than challenges. The only challenges actually we face is there are lots before COVID, of course.
Yeah.
We had a challenge that this is a seasonal job.
Okay.
Visitors won't be here throughout the year. So, as a business, as a company, we have to see that we diversify. That's why when you came, you found me in my garden trying to see that I can also do some other things that can help with my budget at home. So what happens is our safaris are seasonal. There are some peak seasons of the year when guests are many, and then there are some other seasons when guests have gone back home, for example, for Christmas and for Easter. So what do you do during that time as a tour operator? So we have realized that if a tour company does not diversify, it can easily die out. Yeah, because there are highs and lows in this business. And so to me, that has been a big challenge. So we have some other options we do if we are not actually touring. One of them is farming. I am also a real estate dealer. You know, I buy a lot of property, houses, lands, and stuff like that. And one of the other things I really like to do so much, I am so much into construction. Yeah. So if you really need some of the things to use for construction, we have them. We have mixers. We have stuff like that. So you can always come to us, and we can
Still
serve you in that
understand.
purposes. Yes, please.
Okay. So there has been a challenge that the domestic tourism
Yes.
is low in Uganda.
Yeah.
Is it factual or is just something that is just
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. Compared to other countries, domestic tourism is still low. And I want to implore our brothers out there, Ugandans, fellow Ugandans, countrymen and countrywomen, that Uganda is a beautiful country. As a matter of fact, my brother, in 2010, Uganda was declared the number one destination towards destination in the whole world by Lonely Planet. Can you imagine? So, and that was as a result of the too many tourist attractions we have in the country. Can you imagine that in the whole world there is nowhere else you can get a better gorilla experience except Uganda? So half of the world is remaining gorillas are in Uganda.
But there is a saying that Rwanda is taking over the gorilla tourism.
Yeah, I will explain why that one is actually coming to pass. It's actually because of marketing. You know, it's because of marketing. You know, if somebody markets for something which is not there, as long as they show the world that this is happening, people definitely go. In our local language, you may not be knowing my what I'm gonna say, but I will interpret it. They say, "Atunda yoresa."
Yeah, Mazawa.
Amazawa mangu. So it means that in English that if you are selling something and you keep presenting it to people, speak about it in a few minutes, it will be done.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? So that is what is happening with Rwanda, and we as tour operators, that is what we have been urging our government actually to invest in tourism. Let the world know what Uganda is about. Uganda is so hospitable. In 2012, Uganda was named the number one hospitable country in the whole world. You come as a guest, you go back as a brother.
Yeah.
You get it? So we need to tell the world what is actually happening here. So back to our question you asked about the challenges and why tourism is actually so low compared to Rwanda. Um, Few people have actually discovered this niche of tourism. They have left it to some cluster of people. They think that maybe people think that this is business for rich people. This is business anybody cannot venture into.
Yeah.
You know.
Because for an ordinary man to spend
Uh-huh.
dollars and dollars to go
Yes.
to Windy, to go to Action Falls,
Yeah.
it's hard when you're just living from hand to
Yes.
mouth.
But let me explain you that, my brother. Do you know that going to for a safari in Uganda is as cheap as going for a 3 days maybe beach trip to Kalangala, or even a normal weekend. A gentleman can go at Spinach Beach or any other beach and spend even 600,000.
Yeah.
But 600,000 can be enough to take you for safari in March 24 3 days and bring you back.
Sure.
Yes, because the government has subsidized these services to the local people. When you look here, um, this is the map of Machon Falls National Park.
Yeah.
And this map here shows the tourist destinations Uganda has got. This is from Kampala. You go all the way. This is Machoni Falls National Park. And from here, all the way up here, 3 days in any of the lodges here, you do game drives, you do the boat cruise on the Nile River, you visit the top of the falls, you have wonderful meals and different animals in there. It is only 600,000. 600,000 per person. That means each day you are spending 200,000, including accommodation, meals, and everything. Which is cheap, you know. So I want to implore Ugandans. Let us come and support tourism. Let us come and visit our country. Asante Tours and Travel, we are committed to take you explore the world. If you can give me a minute, my brother, I don't know if I can show you the different tourist attractions we have here in Uganda. Yeah. So this map here is showing the Uganda tourist destinations. Okay. Uganda has 10 national parks and 12 wildlife game reserves. You know, that means Uganda is a rich country in terms of flora and fauna. Actually, when you look at this map, all these national parks are evenly spread out throughout the country. Yeah, when you look here in the southwestern part of the country, we have Mugahinga Gorilla National Park. Yeah, and this park here, it is in Chisolo. This park here is actually shared between Uganda, Rwanda, and Congo.
So that's where Rwanda takes the advantages of showcasing.
So this park is shared. Even the gorillas Rwanda has, Uganda already has a portion. Okay. Are you getting it?
They cross from Uganda to Rwanda.
Yes, they cross from the borders. They cross and come this way. They cross and come this way.
But you have more gorillas.
Yes, because you also have in Bwindi. Are you getting me? So down here in Cholo, Mugahinga, we have Mugahinga, and here in Bwindi. There is nowhere in the whole world you can get a better gorilla experience except Uganda. So actually most tourists that come to Uganda, they come to see the mountain gorillas, royal mountain gorillas, down here in the southwestern part of Uganda. And then when you go up here, we have Queen Elizabeth National Park. Queen Elizabeth National Park is shared between Uganda and Congo. But in Congo, tourism is not much developed because of the political instabilities. So we have a lot of wild game here. You can see the hippos, you can see the elephants. There are lots of crocodiles, 5 species of antelopes, and so many other animals in here. And the famous Kazinga channel, remember when we were studying geography, that channel that used to join Lake George and Lake Edward, you know. Yeah, so that is the channel. Then up here, when you go up, we have Semiliki, which is around Fort Portal. I think you are seeing it here. Semiliki is a birding destination. Do you know that there are people who come from all over the world just to look at the birds we have? And in the whole of Africa, Uganda is the country which has got the highest concentration of birds. In the whole of Africa, Uganda is number 1 on the list. So people come from all over the world to come and see our crested cranes, to come and see our Rwenzori blue turacos. They come and to come and see the prehistoric shoebills and so many other species. So you may find a Ugandan who is just harassing the birds that come and eat on your dustbin. Please stop doing that. It is a lot of treasure to Uganda, and they bring a lot of monies in our country. Then we have here Kibale Forest National Park. Kibale Forest National Park is known as the primate capital of the whole world. You know, I never knew that there is a capital city of primates on planet Earth. But when you go here at Kibale, you find what you find there is what we call monkey business. You just find lots of different species of primates. We have the chimpanzees. You know, chimpanzees are very, very clever. And we almost share the same DNA with the chimpanzees. Can you imagine that the only difference between a human being and a chimpanzee is only 1.3%? Yes. So everything a human being can do, a chimpanzee can do. They are too political. They also carry out campaigns.
I've seen, you've seen that? Of chimpanzees hugging, and I was like, what the heck?
They even kiss, my brother.
Sure.
So So Kibale Forest is a forest. If you want to see primates, you can just come and visit this forest over here. Then we have Lake Embolo National Park. This is a very spectacular park. Only 3-4 hours from Kampala, you will be in Lake Embolo. It has about 10 lakes within. You can do a wonderful boat cruise in Lake Embolo National Park. You can do a horse safari. Can you imagine riding on a horse amidst the buffaloes and hippos and so many other animals? For you are just on the horse and you are just having a game drive. It is, of course, you're safe. Sometimes you can even do a walking safari if you want to really test whether you are a man or not. And you walk when a buffalo is there and it sometimes charges, So those are some of the things you can try out and see. Oh my gosh, I never knew that I can ever experience this in Uganda. Then we go into Machoni Falls National Park. Machoni Falls National Park is the oldest and the largest conservation park we have in the country. It was gazetted in 1954. Actually, when the Queen of England, the current Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, when she came to Uganda, she actually paid a courtesy visit in Machoni Falls. She had come to open up the Owen Falls Dam in Ginger. When the British left us, the only gift they gave us was the Owen Falls Dam. They said Ugandans need power. So it even took the Queen to leave England to come and officially inaugurate those dams. So on her visit, she came to Machoni Falls, and she's one of the important dignitaries that have ever visited this park, including the presidents of America, President Theodore Roosevelt, and so many other people have been to this park. This park boasts 76 species of mammals and 456 species of birds. It is the most visited park we have in the country after Bwindi Impenetrable National Park. And actually, this is where I want to offer you a trip.
I hope my producer have heard. We're so grateful for
Yeah, so this park is crossed by the River Nile. River Nile is the longest river in the whole world. Ugandans, I want you to hear that, and fellow countrymen and countrywomen, and even all over the world. This Nile River here was there even in the Bible times. You remember when Moses was thrown in a basket in Egypt? It was right there. But can you imagine? The source of the Nile River is from Uganda. So in its way from Ginger to the Mediterranean Sea in Egypt, the water takes 3 months. That is 90 days. So it goes through Uganda, crosses Machoni Falls National Park. It actually casts it into two. It continues through Lake Albert, the northern tip of Lake Albert. It goes to southern Sudan, Egypt, up to the Mediterranean Sea. So, what makes this park Machoni Falls so spectacular is the fact that this mighty river, the Nile, cuts it into two. And when it comes to animals, they always like water. For example, elephants. Can you imagine that an elephant takes 150 liters of water per day? Just one. So, just one elephant. So imagine the park has got 2,000 elephants.
So that's quite a big number.
And each elephant takes between 150 to 300 liters of water per day. So if River Nile was not there, where would these elephants get all that water? So the Nile River is an important ecosystem. There is another animal, the hippopotamus over there. That hippo you are seeing, it actually survives in the water. It has its skin which makes it unable to stay in the sunshine. For it during the day, it submerges in the water and it leaves its head up and the nose up so that it can breathe and then go in the water for 5 minutes and then come up. God created it in such a way that it has an automatic balance. Even though it is sleeping in the water, for 5 minutes, even though it is deep asleep, it will automatically bounce up after 5 minutes and breathe and come back. But when it is sleeping, So that is its life during the day. It spends its time in the water. Hippos cannot stay in the sunshine. So they only get out during the night When it is cool and the skin cannot be affected, that is when they go out to graze. And then they come back. So you see how the Nile River is an important part of the ecosystem in Murchison Falls. So there are also so many other species of animals. We have 76 species of mammals in the park and 451 species of birds. So many people really love to come and see. I will actually take you for about safari up to the bottom of Murchison Falls, where there is what we call the Devil's Quadrant, and
What does that mean?
the Devil's Quadrant is a specific place on Murchison Falls waterfall where the whole Nile River, the Nile River is about 600 meters wide, But can you imagine a river of that length squeezing itself into a narrow gorge only 21 meters wide between the rocks and the waters? And when you reach there, my brother, if you are not a believer, you will be convinced to know that God exists. So when we take our clients out there to see Murchison Falls, we always point out the Devil's Quadrant. It's called the Devil's Quadrant because nothing ever goes there and survives. Even the fish, the big Nile perch from upstream, the Nile, if it goes down there, it will come out dead. That's why we have lots of crocodiles down below, because they know they are going to have easy catch, easy fish, which is dead. They don't have to struggle. So that's a Devil's Quadrant. And there are some of the tourist attractions when you go out to Murchison Falls that we actually don't have to miss out. We have Chidepo Valley National Park over there in the corner. Yeah, that is the farthest park from Kampala. You spend the whole day driving, but it is a day of adventure because you have to pass through. The famous Luwero Triangle here, our Luwero where we are born. You go to Pakwachi, you go to Gulu. Some of us Ugandans, you've never been even to these towns, But if you choose a trip like that, by the time you come back, you have already traversed about 20 districts, So you go through Gulu, you go through Kitigumu. Some of you have even never heard that district. Kitigumu. Then from Kitigumu, you are up there in Chidepo, the land of the Karamajong. So when you reach there, I'm telling you, there is total beauty over there. The life there is far from city life, but very interesting. You sometimes even don't have to go for game drive. You just sit on the veranda of your hotel and you see tons and tons of animals, herds of elephants on the horizon. Sometimes even lions come to your camp. That is Chidepo. Those who know Chidepo, and they love Chidepo. I love Chidepo. Ghanaians, my friends over there, fellow brethren, tourists, come and let's visit Uganda. Uganda is the pearl of Africa. And actually, the gentleman who named Uganda the pearl of Africa, he was Churchill Winston. When he came to Uganda in 1902 and he saw Uganda, there is no better name he gave it except to be called the pearl of Africa because of the amazing flora, fauna, the cultures of Uganda, the people of Uganda, So Uganda is a different country. Uganda is a budding haven. Uganda is a country which has a lot to offer to a discerning traveler like you, my friend, who is watching me today. So just spend a holiday, be it 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks in Uganda, and your life is not going to be the same. All you have to do is to land into the hands of a right tour operator. We at Asante Tours and Travel, we have one goal. One goal we have is to take you explore the Pearl of Africa at affordable and quality prices. We are trustable and we have a lot of reviews all over the internet on Google. If you visit our website, Asante, www.asantetours.com, you can see the different clients that have really enjoyed their safari experience with us. Yeah,
Right.
to us, quality is the best. We really actually believe in customer satisfaction. So we are back to Chidepo, and then we have Mountain Elgon over there in the corner. Mountain Elgon National Park. Yo, it is in the land of the Mbale, Kapchorwa. Some brethren, my brothers, the Bagisu, may be listening to me. You have some treasure over here. So I just want to encourage you, join me. Let us take people to our land and they visit the famous Mountain Elgon. I want to tell you something about Mountain Elgon. Do you know that before the caldera blew off, before the top of Mountain Elgon blew off, Mountain Elgon was the highest mountain in Africa. Right now, we've got Mountain Kilimanjaro as the highest mountain. Okay, then we have Mountain Kenya, and then Mountain Rwenzori the third. But as I speak, Mountain Elgon ranges in the fourth position. But before the top of Mountain Elgon, because it's a volcanic mountain, before the top blew off, it was the highest mountain in Africa. So and from Uganda, due to tectonic forces and volcanic forces, the top had to blow off, and it formed a largest caldera on top. So it is the mountain in the whole world which has got the largest caldera. A caldera is a big expanse of basin-like lake which is formed and left behind after a volcanic eruption occurs. So in the whole of the world, Mountain Elgon is the only mountain found in Uganda with the largest caldera. So hiking to the top of the mountain takes about 3 days or 4 days. So it is really an amazing experience. You know, I can imagine you, my brother, someone out there joining me. We get our backpacks, get into the vehicle, go in the land of Umbale, Kapchorwa, and we say it's now time to hike. You know, you just it's even good for your health. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
You know, day one you just hike, you hike, and then up to when you look to that summit Wagagai and know, hey, I've hiked Mountain Elgon. Why do you want to go back to God when you have not explored your country? That wouldn't be fair. Okay, so I implore you, my friends, let's come and explore Mountain Elgon. We also have Mountain Rwenzori over here. Mountain Rwenzori is also another hiking destination. It has snow. For it has snow throughout there. Recently, we had in the news when there was a lot of flooding in Kasese.
Yeah.
But that Kasese was the floods were as a result of Mountain Elgon, Mountain Rwenzori. Because of the ice on the top, as long as there is any changes in the climate and it's warm, it melts and it causes that river to come. That river actually flows even when it is shining. The people of the land usually say, the gods of that mountain have released the rain and the river. They have now punished us.
Yeah.
You know? No. We need to climb there and really see what happens. It is the only mountain in Africa which has got snow, permanent snow. You know? So some of you say, I've never gone to America. I want to go and see snow. Come over here to Mountain Rwenzori and you come and experience the snow. So my brother, this has been a summary of the 10 national parks we have in the country.
Yeah.
And by now, I think you are really excited and you really want to go out and explore Uganda. I forgot about Jinja. Jinja is known as the adventure city of Uganda. It is the oldest town we have in the country, and it is the home of the mighty River Nile, the source of the River Nile. So many activities can be done in Jinja. Can you imagine even a day trip to Jinja, my fellow Ugandan? We can do that. Why don't you come and we go out there and we'll a day trip to the source of the River Nile? You know, reaching at a spot where all that water comes from is such an amazing thing. You can go out there, do the quad biking. You can go out there, do the bungee jumping.
Yeah.
You can go there and do the horse riding. You know, you can go there and explore that city, just driving on the streets of Ginger Town, buying those souvenirs and stuff is quite amazing.
Yeah.
You know, so Uganda is such wonderful country.
Thanks for watching Deal Coffee on Deal TV Learn and Earn. From the conversations that we've had, you've seen that we are talking to someone who is legit, who knows the business and has been in the field for some time. So as you've been doing your work as a tourist guide, as a tourist operator, what are some of the experiences that are weird or challenging that you've gone through?
Yeah, thank you, my brother. That's really a nice question, and it reminds me a lot of things. All of us who do business out there, you know that business comes with challenges. There are some days which are good, some days which are bad, some days which are challenging. You know, wake up and go out as a guide in the field, you know, we are dealing with wildlife.
Yeah.
We are dealing with animals.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen lots of animals out hanging on those pictures. The lion, to some of us, you know that lion is the most dangerous animal.
Yeah.
Do you know that there are even some animals that are much dangerous than the lions in the field there? My brother, Mr. Hippo. The hippo is more dangerous than a lion.
Why? Because it's fat and
I'm going to be explaining. But even before the hippo, there is Mr. Buffalo. Hey, hey,
that's my totem.
Hey, are you sure? Buffaloes are so much dangerous. Actually, according to statistics, they kill more people than lions. They can charge from nowhere. You know, they have a poor eyesight, but an incredible sense of smell. Okay? So, because of that, they are not so sure about what is going to happen next.
So they just come charge.
As long as they can smell you and you pose a threat to them, they can just hit you down. There are few.
So have you faced
There are so many experiences when
experiences?
a buffalo has charged at me,
Yeah.
and at one time, it almost crushed my vehicle. You know, a buffalo's forehead is so strong that even a bullet cannot pierce it. Are you getting me? So,
like a head shield.
so imagine a buffalo which is over 200 kilograms running into your back with that forehead that a bullet cannot go through. What happens?
You just have to say your last word.
Are you getting it? So one day I was from a trip. I had taken my friends from church here. They were Ugandans. I'm so glad that that time they had to choose and go to safari. So as we were coming, we found a herd of buffaloes. They were like about 20 of them. And they were just walking towards us in the middle of the road. Okay. And this was a paved road, and it had actually even trenches on the side that you couldn't even go sideways. Okay. So when I saw them from a distance, and I continued driving, and they were not making any move to turn on the side, I knew that that was a danger sign.
Yeah.
So we had to drive, and as an experienced guide, usually they tell us some of the things you have to do if you land yourself into such situations. So I had to drive close to them. At least they were about maybe 10 meters from where I was.
Yeah.
And they kept coming, all of them, you know. There is a way they form,
So
they make a formation.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? And so they have a leader. In the animal,
commander,
they have a commander.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? So the commander was like deciding what to do, whether they can crash into the head of my vehicle. Of course, when a buffalo crashes into your vehicle, you don't have a radiator, the forefront. It will be equivalent of a fuso, crashing
So
into your vehicle.
Collision with Fuso.
Yes, because the buffaloes of that size, and even depending on how they were. Yes. So what I had to do, I had to tell my guests about the situation, because for them they were actually very happy taking pictures and they never knew what was going to happen, you know. So I had to accelerate, because when such situation happens, the first thing you have to do is to accelerate and make some noise if you can.
Yeah.
For the buffalo and for the elephant. So, but they were not making any move.
No.
The last thing you ever have to do if any animal ever attacks you, most especially a buffalo or an elephant, is to retreat. When you retreat, it knows, oh, this guy is a coward. This guy is a coward. I better leave him. So I had to reverse. Slowly, you don't have to retreat quickly because they will also know, oh, he's a coward. He was playing with us. Let's go for him. But you have to do it in a tactical way. You know, I had to retreat. They were like in a distance where my brother was, and all of them were coming with a lot of dust behind them. And these guys were ready to crash into the windscreen of my vehicle and everything. I don't know what could have happened. And I never had a ranger guide. We usually go with a ranger guide who has a gun. I had my rungu. This rungu is from Kenya. Every Maasai has to have it just in case you attack. This can do nothing. On the buffaloes of those, they couldn't do anything. So I just told my clients, and they were aware of the situation, so they had to go back in the vehicle. I told them to go where it is safe, so that if anything happens, at least it can happen on me, but not on my clients. Yes. So I had to back up and back up. Can you imagine? I backed up for almost a kilometer when those buffaloes are following me. Thank God, we reached somewhere, and the leader stopped moving. Usually when the leader stops moving, they also stop. The leader stopped moving. So I kept going back as they are standing still, going back, until when I reached a place that I could easily turn. And then when they saw that I was trying to turn, they had to go into the bush. That was one of the scariest moments in my life.
Thank God you survived.
Another situation happened when a client fell off the roof when a lion was over there.
What?
A mama with a cub.
Did he survive?
I'll never forget. That was the scariest day of my life. Actually, the 10 years I've been in tourism, that was my challenging moment. I don't know if my viewers, you'll be okay listening to this story. I will just cut it short, but it is too emotional because I had a team of about 30 guests who were from the States, and I had about 4 vehicles. So one of the vehicles, my guide was driving it, and we had spent almost 2 days without seeing lions. In the morning, somebody calls us and says, "Hey, Martin, there is a lion which has been spotted in the thicket. Can you please run?" We usually communicate when we're out for the game drives. So we had to rush to the scene. And as we were driving, because for me, I reached there earlier, so this guy, the guide, had to follow. So some sections of the park, the roads are not really good. They are not nice. But because we're in a hurry, so this guy, the driver, he never warned the clients that you guys hang on, because we usually tell them we have to communicate with our clients all the time. When you see anything,
This is happening.
hang on. Yes, you have to tell them. So the guy told me that he told them, but the visitors told me he never told them. So I had to believe the
So
guest.
it was a blame game.
But I'm very sure it was maybe on the side of the guy, because usually our visitors, what you tell them is what they do. So the guy had to hit a ditch, and then the client had to pass through the vehicle because our vehicles have a
Open
pop-up.
the roof.
Yeah. And then he fell over there when the lion with the cub was over there. You can joke with anything, but never joke with a lion with a cub. You know what I'm talking about. So when that happened, I was seeing with my eyes. In the 4 vehicles, each of the 4 vehicles, we had an armed ranger guide with a rifle, AK-47. I had to shout out because we were all there. "Please, Rangers, take charge." They had to coach their guns. The other lion was there charging, and guest had already fallen down, hopeless. She had actually broken her. She broke her backbone, and she couldn't move. And the lion is over there. Are you getting me?
Tricky situation.
So, all of us could not easily dare get out of the vehicle because anything could happen. But these guys were aiming at the lion just in case it makes any move. It's not recommended for the rangers to easily shoot. But our guests are usually a priority because that was a matter of life and death. You know, there's no way I could explain that a lion really strangled somebody. So what happened? One of the rangers who was leading the team had to get out of the vehicle in a brave way. That guy is my hero. I'll never forget him in the whole of my career. He woke up, he got out of the vehicle with his gun cocked. Of course, the lion was there charging, with the baby cub. The other ones also had to get out of the vehicle, you know. They had to surround where the guest was. And two of them were just aiming at the lion, as it was charging. Then the others were surrounding the guest. So we also got out of the vehicle. We hoped this guest went into the vehicle. The other ones, the driver started accelerating so hard until when the lion, it had to get scared, get overwhelmed by the situation. You accelerate and you halt, but it was charging. And then it had to go. We rescued the guest, put her into the vehicle, and I had to use one vehicle and I evacuated her to Pakwach. Some of us who know Pakwach know that place. We went to a facility to scan and do it. There were no facilities there. And actually, I employ our government to really help us with some of those facilities because Pakwach is a tourism center. But we went there was no scan, there was nothing in the hospital. So they had to send us to another hospital. But that was very difficult because the client could not sit, could not sleep, could not stand.
So no attention by them.
She could really feel a lot of pain even though it hit the slightest harm. Until when we reached in the hospital, they scanned her and her pelvis, the John had actually, so we had to evacuate her. I called the airline, Nikajansi Mission Aviation Fellowship, so that they can fly her here in Kampala. And when she got here, we had to take her for medication. The challenging thing is that they had to fly out the next morning. And according to the airline, the aviation rules, they cannot evacuate such a person when she is sick unless she gets special permission. So they told me to pay 10,000 US dollars to evacuate her from here up to her place. That was a lot of money, and even on my guests. But I want to thank the team leaders that helped me out. The city church team, they had to take charge of the situation because I was working behind the airline to see how much we can really pay to evacuate her until when the team leader told me you don't have to worry about it. So they took charge of the situation. They helped me pay the bills. Actually, the rest of the team went back. They even left other two team members who took care of that lady in the hospital for extra 2 weeks until when her situation was at least better to the extent that she can sit in a wheelchair. So after 2 weeks, we had to put her in the vehicle, took her to the airport, and then we evacuated her.
That's quite an experience. But still, our viewers out there is someone who thinks my calling is to work in the tourism industry. My calling is to be a tourist guide. So as we wind up, what should someone look up to think of or consider before he chooses a career in tourism or opening up a tourism
What I
company?
can say, you must have passion. Tourism is about passion. You must love nature. And above all, you must love the creator of nature, who is God Almighty. It is unfair to love nature without loving the creator. You just admire the house, but you don't have any business with the guy who built it. Are you getting me? So what has really helped me out is I've combined two. I have a passion for nature. When you look out at things, my brother, the way things are created, when you look out on the life of these animals, how they survive. A lion eats 120 kilograms of meat every day. In Machon Falls alone, we have over 400 lions. Who feeds them that meat? You see? So there is a way nature provides for itself, and there is somebody behind them who is God that supports everything we see. So the starting point would be having passion for nature, you know, and also getting to know that person who is behind nature. You know, when you fall in love with the creator of creation, you definitely fall in love with the creation. For me, even if a mosquito bites me, I feel like I don't want to beat it because it is part of nature. You know, if a chienge comes around, I found a better way of getting rid out of my way, but not stepping on it. Are you getting it? You know, so passion is the first thing. Two, customer satisfaction is key. We are in an industry whereby it's not all about us, but we are selling our country. When do you can you imagine a tourist can come from wherever they have come from, Germany, USA, Australia, where, and they spend 14 days, but they spend those 14 days exclusively with me. They come at the airport, I pick them, I welcome them to Uganda, the Pearl of Africa. I tell them about the beautiful people Uganda has got. I tell them about the beautiful resources Uganda has got, the flora, the fauna, the avian life, the bird life Uganda has got. So anything that stumbles the guest in those days, the guest is not going to go and say, "Oh, I had a bad experience with Asante Tours." They will just say, yes, Uganda is not what I thought it would be. Yeah. But because of only just this person who they interacted with. So to me, it is about selling my country out there. So when I'm selling my country, I have to present my country in the best way possible. It is not about money. For us, we sell experiences. That is our product. Yeah. We sell experiences. If a guest goes back with a better experience, then I got it. Uganda gets a credit. I'll definitely get a credit. My company gets a credit. I have more referrals. I have more businesses. And to your information, my brand is through referrals. We don't market. Over 90% of our business, they are repeat customers because they go out satisfied. We value the customer of today, we value the customer of yesterday, and we value the customer of tomorrow. So, my brother who is out there and you really want to start a tour business, you are most welcome. It is an interesting field, but you have to put customer care and satisfaction as number one.
Okay, let's get to the next question. Like we've been having the epidemic of COVID
Yes.
or corona. Now, like the airports are open, the borders are open, and then there is easing up. The curfew is at least at late hours. Are we back to the normal? Then what should we expect?
Well, generally, COVID has affected the tourism industry and hit us so much. And the government, you had Mr. President, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He was addressing us and he told us how Uganda has lost a lot of revenue through tourism because of the COVID. But even us in this season, COVID came in a season when we were entering through the peak season. That was around March. That is when the tourism season picks up. And to we as tour operators, the month of January and February, a month of preparation. That's when we invest in vehicles. You just service them. You will be seeing our vehicles outside there. We service them. You do what? We book gorilla permits. We do all these sorts of stuff. So it came in a time when we had made all the necessary investments and preparations to usher us into the next season. Now, when COVID came through, it found us when almost our bank accounts were empty. And to some of our service providers, we had already paid money to, like the hotels, the gorilla permits and stuff like that. Of course, they were not also willing to refund. Yeah, but they gave us a window period. We can always access their services after a period of 2 years. So our customers who had booked with us, you can always come after that period and enjoy an experience with us. But we thank God the airports have opened up, but the business is low because people's incomes were affected globally. So sometimes you don't expect somebody just picking up after COVID and then travels right away. So, but we are in communication with our clients, and they are promising replanning, rescheduling. Come next year, around January, February, March, we shall be on the road again, and we have all arrangements ready. Our vehicles are ready. Our service providers are ready. Our guides are ready. We have used this time of COVID to retrain. We have used this time of COVID to read more, to visit more tourist attractions in the country and even Kenya, Rwanda. We have used this time to actually resharpen ourselves. So I can tell you, we are almost 100 times sharper. So thank God this season.
You needed this place for
We needed it actually for refreshment. And believe me, anybody who really comes up after COVID and enjoy our service, you will see that there has been a lot of improvements that have taken place. Our staff is better more than ever before. Our vehicles are better. Everyone is better.
So as we wind up, I want to pick your thought on there's been a controversy over Eddie Kenzo being appointed as a tourism ambassador for Uganda. But this is a guy who has been a tourism ambassador for Kenya. So what's your take on that as an expert?
Well, I'm very, very happy that the Minister of Tourism actually had to appoint somebody as a new tourism ambassador. We had Zali and as a tourism ambassador. But I can say on a general point of view that every one of us as a Ugandan is an ambassador. All of us should be ambassadors of our country. When you are out there, speak one word or two, to tell somebody about how Uganda is beautiful and how you also.
So thanks for this grateful time that we spent with you. Yes. So if anyone who is there, the Nkubacheyos, they call them the Kadamas, it's kind of disrespectful, but what to do? You, our watchers, you've been working for 2 years, you've been working for 3 years, you need to relax. You've got the right person to talk to contact so that you can have a cheap but worthy time when you come back to Uganda. Don't go and be stressed. Just get some time off and then relax. So to our viewers, tell them, how do they get to Asante, your contacts, your websites, your social media handles?
Thank you. Asante Tours and Travel is all over on social media. We have a website. Our website is www.asantetours.com. As simple as that. Asante, as the Swahili word, tours, then .com. asantetours.com. So you can find us, book your safari, get through us. Our WhatsApp number is 782-7922-48. And here in Kampala, you can find us along Entebbe Road, Seguku. There is that road called Dr. Karebu Road. So when you reach there, you'll be seeing our signpost, or even give us a call, and we shall be there. I'm so much honored talking to your viewers, and thank you so much, Great TV, for hosting us. May God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. We can talk and talk for the next 12 hours, but we can't exhaust what we have to say. Maybe some other time we'll be coming back with Mr. Martin so that we can exhaust this kind of conversation. I know I've learned a lot, and I think you have learned a lot too. From Deal TV, my team, thank you so much. Elmain Mukwaya, Mayanja Yusuf. Bye-bye.
Deal TV. Learn and earn.